consider using the totality of who you are. Use your heart, your intuition, your mind, your soul. Listen very, very closely to what any groups are saying. Use the filters of your heart and your intuition, of your mind and soul, to determine if what you're hearing from these various groups comes from a place of love. Now, I'll talk about this a little bit. As an example, if the things they're talking about and recommending, would they be the kind of things that, you would feel comfortable exposing any of your family members, your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, anyone that you care deeply about? Would you feel comfortable exposing this information to them? And if the information they're sharing happen not to come from an ET source, would their information or recommendations come from a loving place? These are the first questions that I ask when I'm trying to discern what some group is telling people. Would the information be helpful, but would it be non-biased to the degree that the provider of the information wouldn't have its own agenda? That's a big one for me. Would the information empower people? Would it empower each Earth human to have not only greater information, which becomes knowledge, but would it resonate with you? Would it finally become wisdom? And I firmly believe that these are the kinds of best in class measurement tools. And the best filter is the one of love. Use the filter of love to determine if the information that you're listening to is right for you, regarding any of the various ET groups and what they're saying. And it's all on, of course, everything I just said is on a person by person basis. Every person has their own level of awareness, and I would ask everybody to do whatever research they feel is necessary for them. Always do your research. Ask hard questions. Same thing of me. If any of you have hard questions of me, I will answer them. If I don't have an answer, I'll tell you that. Life's too short. It really is. Getting to this document that I sent you, this document essentially is a transcript of information that was covered in a breaking news story by Jeffrey West, who I happen to like a lot. And Jeffrey's guests were Steve Beckow, Dave Schmidt, who are both known to be associated with the Galactic Federation of Light, and a woman by the name of Sierra Neblina, who's known as some kind of Pleiadian contactee with, quote-unquote, the Pleiadian High Council. And it seems that this document was released as a postscript, if you will, to a 2 or 3 hour interview and conversation that Jeffrey West had yesterday with these people. And they were talking about the Olympic Games that were starting in London and an unusual meeting that was held among some people with the Pleiadian High Council and the Queen of England and some other high government ranking officials. Now, they didn't release those names, and it's no biggie. There were some issues that were raised in the overall discussion and some questions that were addressed. And you've seen the document that I sent you. Again, simply, it's a transcript of what was discussed yesterday. So I heard this conversation, and then I read the transcript, and all of a sudden, there were certain issues that started to stand out that as somebody who, if you will, pays attention to what's going on out there, and I don't do it a lot. I typically keep my nose to the ground and I do my Tolec work. But I happened to catch this broadcast because I like Jeffrey West. And the more I listened, the more these issues started to pop out. I had never heard of the Pleiadian family of light before, but I was certainly aware of Steve Beckow and Dave Schmidt and their affiliation with the Galactic Federation of Light, who Sheldon Neidl and Salu Sa also write for. Back in the early to mid-90s, they went by the Galactic Federation of Light. They go by the GFOL. They go by the GFL. And strangely enough, sometimes they call themselves the Galactic Federation, which I've never understood because that's not who they are. And I'll get into some of that in a little while, but I wanted to focus on some of the things that I highlighted for you. Words that for me, as somebody who's interested in this subject matter of, okay, somebody says they're going to come visit with us. All right, well, who are they? Where do they come from? Do they have an agenda? And using those thoughts as critical moments or critical means of thinking, certain issues started to come up. And I'll just read the tidbits that I've highlighted. They said in second paragraph, furthermore, it has been decided that we will make full contact with Earth beings in 8 days from this transmission on August 4th, 2012 at the World Olympic Games in London. It has been decided. Well, who decided? Galactic intervention has been ordered. Who ordered it? Who ordered intervention? I'm asking questions. That's all I'm doing right now. Other sections. Second page of this document says, we will instruct you not to spread fear. We will instruct you? Why would anybody bring up the issue of fear except to possibly introduce it?
Right.
Then they said, this is no false flag. Why would even somebody address it? Again, I'm just asking questions. I'm asking questions from my job. I'm asking questions as somebody, I guess, who's pretty intelligent and who's been following this, certainly the overall context of extraterrestrial contact, which, I'm certainly one person who's aware of this issue quite acutely, actually. What are some of the other issues? They said, and I think page 3, there is absolutely no need for anxiety. Why would somebody introduce that thought? Next paragraph. We told you on July 4th, Independence Day, that the physical and non-physical cabal was removed, and so it is.
I don't see that as fact.
Really? They've removed every single aspect of the physical and non-physical cabal? Have they really? This is news for me.
Yeah, you've got the Queen of England dancing around with a giant version of the Grim Reaper while simultaneously jumping out of an airplane with James Bond. I don't think it can get any more cabalish than
absolutely.
It is
a few
right
paragraphs down beyond that. There will be a true display of light and sound energy. Do not fear this. Why do they even bring this up? 2 paragraphs later, we've been in negotiations with your leaders, ... We are now going to force this to happen for the highest good because there is no time left. Who told them to say there is no time left? No time left to what? I mean, I know what they're talking about. They're talking about our planet is on a path for evolution and upliftment, migration to the fourth and to some degree the fifth dimension. We at the very first iteration, at least everything I've been taught is that this solar system and this planet will vibrate at a new higher frequency of the fourth dimension, January 2014. So these people say, we're going to force this to happen. They're talking about contact for the highest good because there is no time left.
Forget
really?
Contact.
Really? There's no time left?
Right, exactly.
Says who?
I think we have all the time in the world to get rid of this drought that we've been having. And I heard that the extraterrestrials have the kind of technology that we need to bring us rain. So let's get on the ball with that. Screw the disclosure. I don't care about that. I think it's time to start healing the planet, healing us.
Right. And a major piece of the agenda of this document is disclosure. A couple paragraphs down, it says, in 8 days, the world, all G20 leaders will announce us, and we will appear, or they will not, and we will appear anyway. Really? All the G20 leaders are going to announce.
Right.
Right. So somebody's got a disclosure agenda here. You know my my thoughts on that. Those leaders opposed will be removed. Really?
By who?
Who's going to remove them? So I'm just pointing out things that they've said. I'm raising questions, and of course I'm concerned. I'm concerned by what I'm seeing. All debts of the people of Earth will be forgiven? Says who?
According to Goldman Sachs, or
Well, I can tell you categorically that based on everything that I've learned over years, the good ETs, the benevolent ETs, they don't get involved in our Earth stuff.
Right.
This is our problem.
Mm-hmm.
All debts of the people of Earth will be removed. Really? And who's doing this? So I know those are just the highlights, but those are the things that stood out for me. This document is available online. I honestly forgot where I got it, except to tell you that a friend of mine sent it to me this morning, and I had heard this interview yesterday, and I want to first of all open up to both of you any questions about any of the issues that I've raised, and we can certainly talk about them. But at the end of this conversation, this interview yesterday, I'd like to address a topic that Steve Beckhow absolutely danced around. And he has the prerogative to not answer the question, but I want to get into it in detail. And people have asked me over and over and over again, hey, Tolec, we're a little confused here. We keep hearing about the Galactic Federation of Light. They're calling themselves the Galactic Federation. And what's the difference? And Steve Beckhow basically said, well, I don't believe there's any difference. There is a difference. And I want to take some time to cover the distinct differences so that people clearly understand that unequivocally there is a distinct difference between the Galactic Federation of Light and the original Galactic Federation.
It sounds to me like a New World Order type scenario happening in a higher dimension, as above, so below.
Well, this broadcast yesterday, and again, I like Jeffrey West a lot. I enjoyed my time with him when he interviewed me on the topic of disclosure. But this was a Galactic Federation and or Galactic Confederation of Light 3-hour show, essentially. And there was a woman who called in and asked Steve the question, what's the difference? And he said, essentially said, I don't believe there's any real difference. And I can tell you, there are a number of differences, and I can get through them bullet point. It won't take me a long time. But if you have questions before we dive into this, or anything you want to discuss, let's go.
No. Take us away. I'm just reading through this document, and it doesn't seem right to me. There's something about it. Maybe the energy that's resonating from it, but it seems...
Understand that we cannot wait any longer, and we are only stepping in to help. They don't step in if they're good. They don't step in to help.
I mean, there's a lot of things here that I agree with. The galactic intervention has been ordered for the following reasons. Sophia Gaia's sickness has reached a critical stage and must be cleaned up at once. Yeah, she is very, very sick. I don't know. Take us away.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, I want to discuss these things. The evolution of this planet, quite honestly, Gaia is a strong, strong female energy. And she can self-clean. She can self-evolve. Gaia doesn't need the help of the Galactic Federation of Light to evolve. And the energy that she's receiving as this solar system and this planet is about to cross the galactic equatorial plane is healing, and it's transformative.
I think there is a certain breaking point, though. Take a look at Mars, for instance. which was once habitable and lush, full of life, and now it's just a red ball of nothing. At least what we've been told.
Right. I understand there's life on Mars, in bases underground.
Right.
Or at least there has been. A lot of that's been removed. But it's just there are a lot of issues here that my warning bells went off, and I thought that they needed to address. And they're issues for me, but again, I would ask anybody to use the filters of your heart, your mind, your soul. Ask whatever questions are important for all of you out there to see if this information rings true for you. If it does, great. If maybe it does, that's great too. And if it really doesn't, that's okay too. But it's for everybody to determine on their own whether this information is accurate for them or not. For me, it raised flags, and I wanted to take some time, among other things, to discuss them. In terms of Gaia, this beautiful planet, we as a human race inhabiting this planet have not treated her well or with respect at all.
Right.
In comparison, as an example, I have already been informed that the people who will decide to choose to go to an alternate Earth, an alternate 3D world.
Well, you know what? Hold that thought until the other. Tolec, where would you like to take it from here?
Well, when we stopped for the break, I was talking about the fact that we as at least modern society, probably within the past, let's call it 100 years at minimum, we've not been good to planet Earth. We've polluted, we've dumped. I think the height of arrogance and ignorance has been nuclear bomb testing, severely harmful to this planet by any measure. We dump garbage, trash, waste into the environment, and we clearly have ways today of turning that waste into energy. I know that my own hometown back east has a power to energy plant.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. Garbage and trash doesn't need to be dumped in a landfill.
Right.
It doesn't, Mother Earth doesn't need any more pollution. It doesn't need any more toxicity. And I was leading up to the fact that for the people who want to continue to have this 3D dense organic matter life that we have today, this current version of human life, there's going to be an alternate, very virgin, actually, 3-dimensional world that doesn't have any people on it. It's got a few animals, but no people. It is Earth-like. And as a metaphor, with the Milky Way galaxy as like a pinwheel, our solar system and Earth is down like at around the tip of an arm, like at around 7 o'clock. And this new alternate Earth, this new alternate 3D Earth, is up at around 10 o'clock within the Milky Way galaxy. And people can choose, if they want to move there, to continue their 3D lives, because if they're on planet Earth come January 2014, they're going to become 4D people. It's the evolution of this planet and this solar system to move to its next level of vibrational life.
Let me ask you this.
Why am I, and let me finish this thought if I may, why am I addressing this? It's important because there are certain guidelines, parameters, and protocols for the people that will move there, such that there will be none of the following allowed. No toxic dumping, no creation of toxic wastes, no depositing of litter, trash, plastics, or garbage into the environment. There'll be no stripping of natural resources of this new planet. this new planet has been chosen for the people of Earth as a place that they can continue to live their three-dimensional lives, and it's a gift. And therefore, they will also have enough clean technologies that there should not be any reasons for polluting this new planet. None at all.